good boomer tech issue part. That's a bingo square.
Okay, Don, you have to share your audio too.
Oh, okay. Hang on. How do you do that on StreamYard? Oh, I see.
Yeah, it should be down. I think the left hand corner.
You mean unmute?
No.
No. Left hand corner of the.
Or is it left hand corner or right hand corner? I don't know. This is going swimmingly, folks.
It is. It's going great.
I'm not. If I'm not sharing my audio on the other side.
No, I'm not hearing anything at least.
Let's see. Well, if I unmute myself, then I'm afraid. Let me see.
Yeah, if you unmute yourself on their end, they'll hear you, but that's all they'll hear.
Okay. Gosh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to share audio because I'm not seeing anything. Hang on. Remove.
I'm trying to remember how to do it on desktop because I'm on a mobile connection.
That's
It should be the same way you share, like when you play your videos, like your promo videos on your. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, it's coming through.
It is coming through?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Thanks, everyone. All systems go. We're just.
All right.
Excellent. We're winging it. So we have like 11 people in the chat as far as I can see on. Oh, I don't know how many altogether. So anyways, yeah, I'm here, guys. So
we can actually start proper now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gospel of Comics, the first streaming episode of 2021. I am here with my trusty co-host Ayrton McCartney and our special guest, Mr. Don Chen. How are you fellas doing this evening?
Not too bad. It's been a crazy week. I know Ayrton's kind of said the same thing in the chat before we started.
We're 9 days into 2021, fellas. 9 days.
Yeah. Yesterday at work, our closer got sick and had to call off. So I just stayed 2.5 hours after work, and then worked almost my entire 8-hour shift today by myself, except for like 45 minutes. So yeah, it's been a fun week.
Oh man, a little tired.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
have to be.
Candace is in my
good.
chat. She says they can hear us, and now it's gone again.
Oh, lovely. Candace, my arch enemy.
It says unmute on my side, but I don't know if you think I should hit unmute.
Hit unmute. See what it does. Fuck it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, I hit unmute. Can you guys in the chat hear me again? Candace or Charles, if you're there.
But oh, go ahead. Trying to manage two different chats at one time.
Okay, maybe this wasn't worth it.
I mean, it was an experiment. It was science.
It was science. Okay, guys, I think just for the sake of sanity, just go on over to the Gospel of Comics.
Here, I'll give you a link to drop in your chat or whatever.
I can still hear our stream on your channel, Don. So.
Oh wait! Now we can. Okay, good.
All right. We'll just keep going like this is going as it should be.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Thanks, guys. It's so weird because I'm looking at my screen and I see like 4 of me, and it's
excellent.
Looking into a mirror like at the barbershop, and you go into infinity.
So, yeah,
you heard it here
while they're cutting your hair, and they're like, "How does this look?" And you're like, "Good," but really, you're like, "Man, that looks terrible."
Yeah. So yeah.
No, I think that we just had some breaking news on the Gospel of Comics. Don Chen just admitted to being Jamie Madrox.
Oh, I don't know who
the multiple man.
Oh, the multiple man.
Oh,
good grief!
I know.
Good grief!
I should know that.
Is that a joke about him being Asian and all Asians looking the same?
No,
that would be inappropriate. It is 2021, Ayrton.
Oh, my bad.
you have to put it into like I should know who Madrox is, but it's more like that movie with Michael Keaton, like Multiplicity.
Oh, okay. All right. I can accept that. That's a good one.
All right.
Because you always have that copy of a copy that's never quite as sharp as the original.
Right. That was a great movie, right? That was one of the funnier early, 80s, 90s comedies.
So let's get down to business here. Our first introduction of you, Mr. Don Chen, was reviewing and deep diving the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters.
Yes.
And since there are some new people on your side of the audience who might not know that story, I will tell it as follows. Ayrton and I had been doing this show for a couple of weeks, and we were talking one night, and he was like, "So, are we eventually going to run out of stuff to talk about and have to talk about new comics?" And I said, "My
Which I
good
really
sir,
didn't want to talk about new comics at that point."
right?" And I said, "My good sir, you don't understand. There is a plethora out there of stuff that no one's ever heard of." And the one title that he stuck on that I brought up at that time was the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. Because I was going through, the big boom in the 80s of how many different copies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there were, right?
Right.
And obviously that was the birth of the hamsters as well. But that was the one that he stuck on was the hamsters. So we did the review. And somehow you stumbled across it. Like, I don't know what wizardry you use, but anytime somebody's talking about the hamsters, you're there.
I just want to point out, to date, the hamsters books is the only complete story that we've made it all the way through reviewing every single issue of.
That's not true.
We have yet to make it
That's not
through.
true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true. No, we finished Lock and Key.
No, we didn't review that new issue that came out last year. That one-off that he released.
Come on, man. We did 9 volumes. We finished that story. But anyway, yes, Ayrton is correct. We will start a project and just let it go. But we read the hamsters top to bottom, left to right. And you at some point in that journey actually got in contact with us, and we had you on the show for the first time.
Yeah, I go on Twitter and I just type in that search in the search engine, and I get all sorts of weird things that come up. And you guys came up, and I go, what's this? And you guys gave it, a really nice in-depth talking about it, and you went through the book like page by page, and I just thought, wow, these guys dig it, and maybe I should reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in talking more about it. And gosh, when was that? Like about a year ago or less than a
year and a half, I think, at this point.
It was about a year and a half ago, yeah.
Cool. Hey, Church, you got a new icon. It's not the same old stained glass robot. It looks like it. Is that new?
Oh no, that's oh God, don't let me forget his name right now. I'm sorry, Carlos. What is your name?
That was
Carlos.
That's Dillard. It's John Dillard. Yes.
Oh, okay. Dillard do that for you? That's cool, man. I love Dillard.
Yeah, he's got that out because that's what he thought of when he saw my avatar, and I told him what it was all about.
Awesome, man. When did he finish that for you?
Like a year
Oh man,
ago.
I think he did it in like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, I was on a couple streams with him just this week because he's closing out the Buckler book.
Yep. So, everybody that's a fantastic looking project. That man puts
really
beautiful ink. That man puts beautiful ink to page.
He does.
But you
Oh,
were basically our first semi-celebrity on the show.
Awesome.
I want to circle back to that. So I'm at work one day, and Church texts me like, "Hey, Don Chin just DM'd me on Twitter," and I was like, "What?"
He's still alive.
I was like, "How did what?" We're just two idiots who were just bored and just and decided to do a stream about comic books. How did he find us? And
Right.
now it blossomed into this.
Yeah, I think this is like maybe my fourth or something
Fourth or fifth
on your show.
Yeah, we get you on every chance we get, but we talked about a plethora of things. We've actually talked about X-Farce on the show before, and that brings us to the topic of today's show: X-Farce Reloaded, Parody Press revived.
Yeah.
Now, before we do a deep dive on the campaign, as we are wont to do on the show, I do have to ask one question, and basically, I wouldn't say toot my own horn, but find credit where credit might be due. I seem to remember back in the adolescent radioactive black belt hamster days, one of the first conversations we had is, man, with crowdfunding, you can totally get back into doing what you did before. And
you did.
I want to ask: is that partially a catalyst of something that might have lit a spark in the back of your head to say, "Hey, I need to get back into doing comic books"?
Yeah, you guys definitely helped plant the seed, because I didn't know. I was just coming back into the industry, and actually, I wasn't even thinking about coming back until you guys were kind of telling me what creators of my generation have been doing, and maybe. I know that I contacted Ethan Van Sciver a couple years ago about doing the Hamster Cyberfrog crossover, but I think you guys knew a lot more about what was going on with other crowdfunding books. So as we chatted about the hamsters, I think I kind of soaked up things that you had both observed, and we're kind of mentioning crowdfunding might be the way to go. So I've just been kind of watching all these different people do their campaigns, and going on shows like this and their shows. And I met a lot of people just in the last month, just doing promotion for X-Farce.
Oh yeah. When you're on the campaign trail, as it is for a new book, it's near impossible to not make some kind of acquaintance with the comic book community, because there's a lot of people out there who are willing to step up and promote a book and get in front of their audience and say, hey, this looks cool, and at least give you a fair shake at saying what you're all about.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got here. X-Farce Reloaded #1. I think you did it on.
You gonna play the trailer? Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to hear it, Ayrton. You might have to check on that, but
okay, I'll mute myself and go check it.
Okay.
I can't hear it on my end.
You can't?
I cannot. Is the sound?
It's not playing over on Don's
I don't
channel.
know.
The pictures look nice though.
The pictures do look nice. Let me see if there's a way that I can.
The volume high enough?
On your screen share, Church, there should be a thing where it says something about sharing audio as well when you go to do it.
He can't find it either.
I don't know where Don found it.
I just went down and unmuted myself down at the bottom of the screen.
I didn't mute. Huh.
And anyways,
Try. Is the slider for your volume up high enough? I know it's
Oh,
not.
yeah. Oh yeah.
while he messes with that, Don. So tell us about this video, which I love. I think I've seen it like, I don't know, probably 8 times between all the streams I've watched of you.
Yeah, I play a lot.
Yeah. Where'd you get that done? Because it's fantastic.
That's done by Ascension, the guys that did like the Cyberfrog, Wreck Planet, Starlight Cats.
Figured it out.
Okay, cool.
It's when you actually share the screen itself. There's a little box that says share audio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not on the screen once you've shared it. You can't do it after you share it.
I'll have to look for that.
Anyway, let's start this one more again.
One more time. Get your popcorn out.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Professor Baldy, and I run a school for juvenile delinquents. But not just any delinquents. Mine are specially gifted. You might even call them mutants. Trust a few reformed ex-cons. Tangerine.
Am I the apple of your eye, Bubba?
Jeannie Gray. Beastie Boy. Oh, everybody dance now. Snow Cone.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
And their friends from X-Farce. Cable TV.
Eat remote control, frog face.
Garfarel. Meow. Dominoes.
This book has just the right amount of cheese.
And introducing the Newt Mutants. Beware the rest. Magneto. Mistress Piggy. And not at all breaking the fourth wall. Cesspool. Now, Heritage Press Comics is back with X-Farce Reloaded #1. Don't miss this extraordinary comics extravaganza with 7-fold color stories of marvelous mutant mayhem. Back this book today for awesome variant covers and original artwork tiers. 48 pages of action and hilarious hijinks by some of comics' funniest talents. Heritage Press, making the world laugh again. Only on Indiegogo.
Okay, so first thing I gotta ask is Cable TV is he modeled after Ted Turner?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. He's got the CNN on the original X-Farce cover. He's got a little CNN on his whatever that doohickey is that's electronic on his chest.
Right.
And then Bill Mouse redrew it for 2020, and it has not just CNN but like Fox News on there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so what inspired me to kind of do it that way was looking at old X-Men movie trailers. So the one from 2000, the original movie trailer with Patrick Stewart, if you watch that, you'll see that I kind of had the pacing and the timing and kind of the metallic logo thing. That's kind of what led me to write the script for the trailer that way. And I told my video guys to edit it kind of like it was that.
Okay.
Now, for Cesspool, did you purposefully, as a parody, have the artist for that draw his feet actually proportional to the rest of his body?
Why are you saying because Rob Liefeld doesn't know how to draw feet proportions?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Aaron never misses an opportunity to shoot on Rob
That's
Liefeld.
a question for Bill Mouse, because he was the one that drew it. I know Rob is teased a lot for his proportions and not being a guy that likes to draw feet, but yeah, we had fun with it, and like I said, this is X-Farce Reloaded is 48 pages, and 30 of the pages are from the 90s, but they were never in color until now. So
Right.
we have read X-Farce in the 90s when it was published with Eclipse, but it's never been like digitally remastered like you see here.
Okay. All right.
So it's kind of like the Shirley Temple videos back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, where they like recolored them and like re-released all the movies.
Yeah, I guess you.
Did you really just do that, Ayrton?
I did.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna dock his pay for that, Don. Don't worry.
that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Shirley Temple. She's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's for like ages 13 and up. It's a little bit like watching Airplane back, when we were kids, that gag a minute type of humor, whether it be visual or in the form of, words. So
yeah,
that
just don't call me Shirley.
Right.
Callback joke.
So
Well, one thing that I can attest to is that there were a lot of little sight gags in some of these characters, like the way some of them are just like Domino, the pizza delivery girl.
yes, yeah,
So that you see a lot of the little visual gags on cable TV. You even got a little Spawn shield on him.
yep, that's Bill. Bill does a lot of that. I mean, sometimes I'll say, make sure the character looks like this, but I rarely sketch what I'm thinking in my head. We almost kind of have like this telepathic bond working for so long. I just intuitively trust him, and I don't really have to do a whole lot of editing when I work with Bill, because he's done satires, hundreds of them, and really easy to work with. And he's a funny guy on his own. I mean, he's done his own share of writing parodies just on his own, and as well as illustrating. But I really like working with Bill because he's kind of almost like, a lot of people have been looking at this cover and they go, it reminds me of Don Martin from like Mad Magazine, that type of.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see that. And you can even see like where Bill put the Crack magazine on the shoulder pad.
Right. Yeah, that was a homage to my first published work. That was cool of him to do that. 1983.
And you worked with Bill for quite a while, right? It was pretty much you and him for Parody Press originally, if I remember correctly.
Right. What happened, Ayrton, was I got my feet wet with the Black Belt Hamsters with Eclipse in like 86. And then I did a few other books with them. And then in 1992, X-Farce was already out, and it was, it sold millions of copies. So I thought, this looks right for spoofing. So I pitched the idea to Eclipse to do an X-Farce spoof called X-Farce. And at the time, the editor that was working there knew a couple guys from San Diego that hadn't really broke in yet. So she offered them the job. So one of them was Bill and the other one was Bob Hannon. And they were both working at SeaWorld at the time, drawing characters for the park visitors. So this was their first work. And then I got to meet Bill eventually, like at conventions. And in the early 90s, Eclipse was starting to have some financial problems. And we kind of thought, well, we can give it a shot and try to publish parodies on our own. So we came up with X-Cons the following year, the Unfunny X-Cons. And so there's a 10-page X-Con story in X-Farce Related, the one that looks like Jack Kirby drew it.
Yeah.
And that's by a guy named Mark Lewis.
Now, is this the same one from Eclipse that you left like her notes in the margins of the Hamsters book that I love so much?
Valerie Jones was the editor on X-Farce, and she was she was a lot more mellow than Kat Ironwood was like the editor and publisher of the hamsters, and she was the one that would write us for being late. She was a good editor, but a little eccentric.
I can tell.
Like one time, my friend and I, they lived in this. Honestly, if you didn't know better, you'd think that you drove into where they filmed Deliverance.
That's where church lives.
It's a part of Northern California that you go off the beaten path, and there's a place called Boonville where people kind of speak this weird bootling, like almost like you thought you.
It's actually called Boonville.
Boonville, and it's funny because my wife actually lived there for a while, and they said the people there have their own kind of language, almost like people in New Orleans kind of have a weird, slang French thing. But long story short, you have to go through Boonville until you get to Guerneville, and Guerneville was this small town by a river, and I think it was kind of well known to have a high homosexual population in Guerneville. So that's in the 80s.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. I mean.
So basically, my friend and I thought, oh, well, we're going to San Francisco. We're going to take a road trip. Why don't we go see Eclipse's offices? Because we've only just been corresponding with Eclipse, through the mail and over the phone. And I just thought, I've met these folks at conventions, the people that work at Eclipse, but I've never been to their office. So we go to their office, and it's kind of this, quaint little town, but it's small. There's not a whole lot of conveniences. And we walk in the door, and Kat Ironwood is sitting there on the floor, like cutting her toenails. So that was the way that we met her. And she was really, who did she look like? She looked like she was, kind of came out of the Deadhead generation and had really thick bottle glasses. And, you would kind of think she was almost like a cat lady that got into editing comics, and she was my editor. she was Jewish as well, which either Jewish or either an atheist or agnostic. And me, I kind of wore my faith out pretty boldly. So every once in a while, we would just kind of have these clashes of faith. And when I did a Christmas issue, and I quoted some scriptures about, what Christmas was really about, she kind of wrote in the margin, like, well, what about the Jews, Chin?
they don't celebrate Christmas, Kat. What are you talking about?
They get 8 days, Kat. Calm down.
We get a day and a half if you have in-laws.
Yeah, so that was just a weird dynamic, but I appreciate all that. Dean Mullaney and Kat Ironwood they were married at the time. So Dean was the publisher, and his brother Jan kind of handled things in New York. So there were the Mullaney brothers. One lived on the West Coast with Kat, and the other one was in New York. And believe it or not, he was a music producer, and he worked with Laura Branigan, and he also worked the early days with Michael Bolton.
Really?
So I would get my checks from Jan. He would cut the checks in New York and mail them to me in California. But I had always heard that he was a musician, so I would have to call him every once in a while just to kind of find out where my payment was. And he'd kind of tell me, what he was doing and what kind of musical project he was on. But if you look back,
that's all great. That's all great. Where's my check?
You and Michael Bolton are spending my money. I don't know. So anyways, I just need to send a quick text to my wife because I have one. My daughter's actually in the other room. She just had a surgical procedure, and we had to pick her up. And her husband he's out of town, but he's coming back into town. So I'm just letting them know that he's on his way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So let me just. Anyway, okay, we're good now, guys.
All right.
Mr. Kill Everything says, cheers, time to get drunk.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Which, by the way, speaking of that, so Don, your stream when you were doing the giveaway, I wasn't missing the timing on your giveaway contest because I had a few pints. It was because it was 2:00 in the morning over here, and there was a delay on your stream.
Oh,
I just want to make that clear for anybody listening who happened to be there.
Yeah, I left after I thought I had won.
Stream, and it was very, very late.
that's
I left
hilarious.
after I thought I won something and watched the replay and found out I didn't win something. I was like, what the hell, Don?
There's a guy in my stream named Charles C, and he made these comments. He says, "Great trailer. Has Liefeld given you feedback about this?" And the answer to that is no. And then in regards to you, Ayrton, he said, "Colorization, another Ted Turner abomination." And then he reiterated, "Don, I'm down in Sonoma County. Eclipse was definitely hippie central." So I have confirmation from a fan that all that I told you was absolutely true.
We'll totally trust
Excellent.
a stranger from the internet to validate your story.
His name is Charles. Thanks, Charles. All right.
And, I mean, his name is Charles Ayrton, of course. We
Right,
have to
right,
we have to
sorry.
take him at his word.
Yes, of course.
And it's California, so I mean they're all hippies there.
Yeah, that's fair.
So where were we, guys?
I have
The
no idea.
trailer. We worked on that with a guy that's based in Iowa, and the voice actor, the guy that does Patrick Stewart, was somebody that we found on a. You guys have heard of Fiverr, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went online and I went to see what a voice actor could do, and he nailed it. I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, he did fantastic.
So let me just dig into the campaign a little bit more. I'm sure everybody on your side has already seen all of this stuff. Most of the people on mine have too, I'm sure. But we'll blow through it real quick just to get the particulars out of the way and see if there's anything we have questions about.
Sure.
First thing, the tiers, you can have all three covers as variants at $75. So that's the price of each comic. You can pick your cover for $25 a piece. So you've got three different ones there: the X-Farce tribute, the Unfunny X-Cons variant, and the Rob Willis variant that has yet to be seen.
Actually,
You got
we were
Still.
joking. I don't know, Ayrton, were you on the screen when we were? I think it might have been Critical Blast I was on, but we were saying, what would be? I think the host of that show said, what would be really funny, Don, is if you advertised the Rob Willis cover and then you just put a photo of Rob Willis on it.
I think you should put the picture you have up there, Rob Willis with the dog.
Oh, if he doesn't meet his deadline, I might have to.
That's right. Just family photos.
Yeah.
Look to yourself, Willis.
Rob's a good guy. He's working on it. He's been sick for a little bit, and he's got all his reference materials. So I think once he delivers his cover, we'll sell a lot more than just the one so far.
So you got the Parody Press Vault Pack. Now this is what, just 5 issues of Parody Press comics?
Yeah, anything that I have with me in my small stack of extra issues from the 90s, you'll get 5 signed assorted issues from the old days.
Okay.
And, that page that you just kind of scrolled over, that's one of Mark Lewis's newly colored pages. So we asked our colorist to make it look like it was like from the 60s. So he put.
Now, who is that colorist?
His name is Delphin Barrel.
Okay.
And he worked on ElfQuest, and he's been my primary colorist on this project.
I do love the coloring scheme on this. It does definitely remind me. It's even a little bit muted in that same vein that those colors are. It's not like, you can tell that the Beastie Boy is wearing royal blue, but it's not that rich royal blue you would see in a comic book today. It's
Right.
that 4-color blue that you
Like
got.
it's been sitting in an attic for 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not even that. Like Ayrton, you might not know this, but
I definitely
Back
don't know this.
okay, well, back in the 60s and 70s and even the early 80s, a lot of comics were still printed with the process called 4-color process, which is where you got a lot of your half toning. Like it wasn't even
Oh wait,
4-color
I
process.
do know this. You've
It was
explained this to me
4-color
before.
printing, but the press, you could only put 4 colors on the press at a time, which is why with black, red, and blue, a lot of Spider-Man villains ended up being green.
And purple. Don't forget purple.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's because you could make purple with red and blue.
That's besides the point.
Well, Mark Lewis,
But,
he did the guy that
go
did
ahead.
this artwork. He did the X-Cons, variant cover, the one that looks like it's like the old 1960s one, and he's super. He's a perfectionist, and he actually gave us some color direction on the story, and he found an article like this is kind of like the color scheme that Marvel used in the 60s, and he sent me this article, so I passed it on to Delphin, and I think that kind of Delphin used that data to know kind of what spectrum to stay within, and then he colors the X-Farce the X-Farce story. And then we said, have your free reign like it's the 90s, and people started to use Photoshop. So that's why you kind of see a lot more special effects and so forth in the X-Farce story than you do in the 1960s.
Okay.
Right. I even see a little reference of the Kirby dots in this particular panel. It's fantastic.
Yeah, if you look up really close, I actually looked at some of he finished all 30 pages I gave him just recently, and you look up and you kind of see the moire pattern, and it looks really faithful to the old Marvel books.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So anyway, you've got the X-Farce Bill Mouse sketch card.
Yeah,
Now,
I just added that last week.
Is that $50 for just the sketch card, or do you get a copy of X-Farce with that as well?
I don't think maybe I should do that. That might sell. We'll see.
I don't know. It's my campaign. I forgot what I put.
That's something I'll have to play with, but yeah. There you go. There's one of the 1990s. When we asked Delphin to kind of make it look more like the vibrant 90s, like when you opened up your first Image comic book, and it had nice paper, and you just kind of went, wow.
Yes.
And this is why I tweet or quote tweeted, I should say, Don, where it said hashtag proportional feet.
That's so funny. Don't tag Rob Liefeld in that, okay?
I didn't. I almost did, but I didn't.
Rob Liefeld has me blocked on Twitter, or I would.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'm not afraid.
He never acknowledges me. I think I'm a pesky fly on him.
Yeah, me and Church are more like pesky mosquitoes. So.
Yeah.
Well, I heard. Did you guys know? I guess somebody told me, hey, I was on another stream, and they said, Rob did this crowdfunding thing, and he didn't fulfill it. And I was going, really? He goes, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, you guys are aware of that, so.
We've spoken about it once or twice. Maybe said some things that might have gotten back to him.
Hence why Church is blocked.
I see. Did you back it, Church, or not?
No. I didn't even know about it.
Hey, Dillard's in the chat.
course
Dillard's
he is.
adding Rob Liefeld in the chat. Fantastic. Hey, Dillard, I forgot your name earlier and called you Carlos. I hope you still love me.
He's Mexican. Close
He's
enough.
He's not gonna. You're not gonna get us in trouble because you spelled Liefeld wrong, Dillard. So you have to spell it without the I in there. Oh man. Well, yeah. So I like Cesspool. I like Deadpool. I like what Marvel's done with that character. So,
so you got the X-Farce #1 6-pack. That's 6 copies of the book for $125, probably for a retailer. Then you got the 10-pack.
Yep, I'm just testing the waters. If dealers want to, these are all signed free of charge too, just in case people were wondering if you can get them signed or unsigned if you like.
Are they signed, or did you get a stamp made of your signature?
They'll be hand signed.
Oh, okay.
Like a metallic, probably like a metallic, paint pen on the cover. Yeah.
I'm super excited.
The Colossal Executive Box. Now, tell us about this. It says you will receive one of each of these #1 cover editions: the X-Farce Tribute by Mouse, the Unfunny X-Con by Lewis, and the Rob Willis Reloaded variant. One X-Farce metal lunchbox and mug. One X-Farce inked original art sketch by Bill Mouse. All stretch goals unlocked. All comics are signed by Don Chen.
You don't need me. You don't need me to tell you about it. You just told everybody.
Okay, all right. So that's what it is.
There is a graphic.
X-Farce lunchbox.
There is a graphic though, Church. If you scroll down a little bit further, there's a bigger graphic that shows what that is. So I'll tell you where to stop. When you see the lunchbox, keep going. So many graphics. Oh! You went too far. When you see Ferris Bueller looking at you, you've gone. There you go, buddy. That's it. So you get all 3 books, and then the Bill Mouse sketch card. And I'm gonna get these into production, the lunchbox and the mugs. So I want to have them before our campaign ends. So I think if people saw them physically and me holding them up, that I'd probably get a few more nibbles on that executive box tier.
I definitely like it. It really reminds me, like, it kind of makes me want to carry a lunchbox like that to work with my lunch in it.
I would so do that.
They would,
right? Like, I don't know. We might have to look at that, Ayrton. It might have to be a thing.
I might give you the gospel discount because you guys have been good to me. So we'll talk. If I have extras, when the campaign is further on down the road, I'll you guys have been to me.
We'll look at it. We'll talk off air. We won't.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be in contact.
We won't tell the business on air. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I kind of
I've definitely talked about it. Various of your books to some of my coworkers because they're just so great. I'm like,
hey, we've got Edwin.
You need to look at these.
We got all sorts
Edwin
of
the Ace in the chat.
All sorts of celebrities.
Oh yeah. We bring them in just long enough to say hi, and then they leave. It's cool.
Yeah.
Just enough to bring me a little bit of clout and then run away. I'm fine with it. But anyway, let me get back to the campaign real quick so we can get back to being our normal selves.
Normal.
Yeah, normal. All right. So you've got the cover sketch for the X-Cons cover. You've got the original artworks page.
Yeah.
A couple of those.
3 of those. And then
got the original X-Farce cover.
Yeah, I have it right here, man.
Pulling it up. Here we go.
Glory.
So, Don, I need to point out, because Church has scrolled back past your story about them being in Antarctica and it being entirely...
Pull that back up, Don. I'm going to full screen you. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, got the ring light reflection and everything to prove that it's authentic. It's not just a Photoshop. See, that's how they'll know. Like, don't worry about the reflection done. That's how they'll know if you've been replaced by like a duplicate or something.
There we go.
The ring light in your glasses won't be there. That's right.
Wasn't there that movie about the ring where she watched the videotape and it?
Oh yeah, it comes out
Yeah.
of the TV to kill you.
Yeah, I'm kind of freaked out now.
Good.
I wonder if I can.
Good.
I wonder if I can make it look like it's a halo on me. One of these days, I'll have to the reflection.
Yeah, sit there and play with it. So, so your little story with them being in Antarctica in a snowstorm and it's all just text. I know I gave you some crap about doing that in the hamsters. I had to go look it up to see if I was correct.
Yeah,
And yeah, luckily for you, your hamster one was only like 6 panels.
right.
So doing like a few pages, it'll be cool. I'm totally excited. I'm totally down for it. It'll be hilarious the second time too. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a 3-page story, and I trusted my letter implicitly to try to help me pull it off. And and Clint the Hamster Triumphant. There was another one where I had 2 pages totally black panels. So we did.
That's right.
Dark, and then we did one where he's in a snowstorm, or the hamsters were in a snowstorm. But this one is like, yeah, the Avengers and the X-Cons. I'm sorry, infringers. So
Right.
Marvel doesn't sue me. It's the infringers and
See, the Unvengers.
not Avengers and the not X-Men.
Right. The Men of X and the Vengers of A.
You guys have to have a guy named Kami Mark that I just met on your show if you haven't already. He's from the UK.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. We've had Kami Mark on to talk about Not Daredevil before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Awesome. How was it?
Oh, it's a blast.
We loved him to death.
Oh, good. He's a cool dude.
Didn't we have Kami Mark on to talk about Not Daredevil?
Yeah.
Well, I know we talked about it. I just told him we couldn't show it.
Oh, really? You couldn't show the graphics of his campaign, or
It's not the graphics. It's some of the language we just didn't want to show on screen because of the YouTube.
oh.
Yeah, like the graphics were done in like the 60s under the comic code. They were fine. I think it was some of the overtones that were added that was a little risque.
I think we found, if I remember correctly, because that was a while ago. I think we found a couple pages that we could show on there.
Right. There were a few things we could talk about, but we couldn't go through the whole book page by page like we like to.
Gotcha. I understand now. Okay.
But
yeah.
So I definitely had to, pull out my hamster comics and flip through and find that, and had to reread that section. That was brilliant. Just like
Thanks, buddy.
them going like, "Hey, is Parsonovich lazy or is Chin just cheap and doesn't want to pay for
For ink.
for the art?"
Oh man, those were the days. Hey, this is
Why not both?
Yeah. Hey, I was just thinking, this artwork that you're showing on the screen. It's like it's like the COVID relief fund cover. So if you have $600 and you don't have any, that you have no use for, you could buy the cover to X-Con and X-Farce.
I had $600, but I raffled it off for $20 tickets for 100 people.
Because of Mitch McConnell? Is that what I think? How did that work out for you?
If I would have had about 15 more people, I would have had $2,000.
Oh man!
And Church doesn't have nearly as much cocaine as Mitch does.
That's right. That's right. Or turtle shells.
Oh man, he's an oxymoron, because if he really did coke, he'd not be slow like a turtle. Wouldn't he be like real fast and all agitated and stuff?
You're the one that worked with.
He was fast.
You're the one that worked with comic book artists in the 80s and 90s. You should.
Yeah,
tell us
you're
this.
right. We had a cocaine joke with Clint in the DeLorean. Remember in Hamsters?
Oh,
One?
yeah.
Oh man. So yeah,
Great JJ Cale song, by the way.
JJK. I thought that was Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton actually, his version is a cover of it. Actually, it was
Oh,
originally
really?
by a guy named JJ Cale. Yeah,
You would know, Ayrton. I trust you on that. My musical savant.
He could be so full of shit right now. His eyes are brown. I wouldn't question him because I don't know.
It's blues music, so I know my blues music. If it was anything else, I could just be making it up.
Just promise right here, right now, never to use your powers for evil.
No.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yep. So my mouse will work.
Mark off technical
I'm
difficulties
struggling
on the bingo card.
I'm struggling. So we'll talk about the Newt Mutant now. How did you come up with this?
I swear, every time I see this, I just crack up laughing. I love it so much.
This is well, obviously, the New Mutants movie came out, but even before it just came out last year,
we don't talk about that. Nobody saw that movie. That never happened.
I was a New Mutants fan, and back in the 80s when Chris Claremont came out with it. And then
here's a question though. Did you see the Generation X pilot that they aired in 92 or some shit?
I don't think I did. Was it bad?
It was awful, but it was gloriously awful, like everything in the 90s was.
Are you talking live action or animated?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100% live action.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'll send you a completely legitimate, not pirated copy of it.
All right. Was there any major stars that came out of that series?
God no.
No.
It wasn't even a series. It was just a pilot.
Okay. Is it on YouTube? Can you watch it on YouTube, or you have a?
I think you can find it on YouTube. Yeah.
Really? All right. Yeah, New Mutants is it was a big hit when I was younger, when I had a comic book store, and so I liked the New Mutants, and I read it, and I really liked a guy named Bill Sienkiewicz's artwork on. He did a lot of the covers, and he kind of did the interiors. He kind of had this weird, sketchy, bizarre take on his drawings. It's almost like if Neil Adams was on crack.
I was going to say it felt more like Vertigo than Marvel at the time, right?
Yeah,
it felt more like Constantine art than
that's a good analogy.
Marvel comic art.
If you can imagine, that type of style back in the 80s. So, but Sienkiewicz started to kind of create a name for himself doing these painted type covers, and I think he even did some interiors that were more of an illustrated style than it was pen and ink. So I asked my friend Thad Rhodes, who is a really good painter, and we worked with him back in the day on Zen and Nira X, and he's still a graphic artist in Virginia, and he's a close friend of Bill's. And so I asked Thad, do you think you could do stuff that looks like Bill Sienkiewicz? Because I want to do a New Mutants parody. And he said, yeah, I think I can. So he pulls this off, and I went, wow. And so I was actually really toying with this as a cover, but I didn't want to overwhelm everybody with having a bazillion multiple covers. So this will most likely be the back cover on all the books.
I'll give you a piece of advice. Don't make it the back cover. Maybe make it a page in the book as just printed like this. And then in the future, if you want to reprint X-Farce Reloaded as an add-on to a future campaign, offer this as a cover.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Way you can spread it out throughout campaigns, and then everybody's version is different as the campaigns go on. You can sell off your remaining stock of the variants you have, but this will be the cover for that campaign.
Well, I might take you up on that, man. It's not a bad idea.
Mr. Marketing Genius over here.
Yeah. So
Look, I'm just talking about spreading money out here. I mean, don't leave it on the table. That's all I'm saying.
You capitalist pig.
So,
Goddamn right.
so the New Mutants are they're basically flunkies of the Van Sciver Institute, and the Professor
New
X.
Jersey instead of Westchester.
Right.
Caught that. I saw that.
So Professor X he has to take them on and
Professor Baldy.
Professor Baldy. He goes actually by in some of the X-Cons books we have him as Professor Baldy, and then in some of the books we have him as Professor X, but with an EX instead of an X.
You got to throw a panel in somewhere where somebody's breaking up with him.
So Thad pulled this beautiful piece off, and then the interior pages are the same type of painted style. And this cover I should say this piece we're making available for sale for like $1,000.
So
Okay.
if you're married and got your COVID relief check,
Hey, where'd Twitch go? Did you drop out?
whoa, apparently I don't know what happened. We might still be live.
Twitter took him down.
So the Newt mutants, do they lose their tails?
Not in this issue.
Oh, okay.
No. But
See that's what I'm
have to-
picturing. Like all of them, their only power is they lose their tail. That's
No, because you have Wolfsbane.
Right.
It doesn't matter. He loses his tail too.
He's just annoying and yaps at people. That's his power.
He's
That's
like
it.
like a Pomeranian.
It's a she. Yeah, it's a Scottish terrier.
Good God. You're terrible.
We lost you there for a minute, Church. Did you have a
No,
little-
I just died. It's okay.
So technical difficulties, add that twice to the bingo card, folks.
That wasn't a technical difficulty. It was just a difficulty on my own end.
Oh, okay.
I think he
Church
had
being a boomer,
I
add
think he
that
had
to your
gas.
Right.
to your card.
Right. I'm just old and don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. I've only been doing this for 3 years.
So on the other shows I've been on with you, I used to like call me up with Skype, right? And I would
Right.
Yeah.
you guys, but were you using StreamYard too?
No. We were piping Skype through OBS then, and I figured because of the amount of times I've seen you on StreamYard, that this would be the more accessible way to have a show with you.
Oh, okay.
And because I figured out how to use StreamYard, Church was like, well, we can't have that now.
No. I just put some more memory in my machine so that it could handle StreamYard.
It's a pretty cool
because Aaron
program.
was doing it.
I've been impressed with it. Just
Yeah, I dig it.
I was apprehensive at first because, I'm not that computer. I'm not afraid of computers, but I just saw other people doing it, and I just was a little nervous about doing it. So, but I'm getting better.
Like I told you, Don, if I can figure it out, you should be fine.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
Basically.
Ayrton was on my first test drive stream like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. I woke up from
I've,
a nap to a DM and was like, oh wait, did I miss it because the stupid time zones? It was like, oh wait, no, I didn't. Okay, good.
Yeah. No.
Because I'll wake up to like DMs from Dillard that my time will be like 3 a.m. He'll be like, hey, if you want to jump on, here's a link. Be like, dude, I'm asleep and have to work a couple hours from then. Why are you sending me this?
Oh man.
But I did want to briefly touch on. Now, you said that some of this would be content that we've actually already covered on the Gospel of Comics. We've covered the X-Farce and the Unfunny X-Cons on the show previously.
So Yeah, so that's 30 pages of the book, which is 48 pages total, is X-Farce and X-Cons. And then the rest of it is all new material, like New Mutants and the Infringers meet the X-Con. And what else we have? What if other comic book companies had mutants? And so,
Yes.
if you go to my update page, Church, if you're on the campaign, I think you can scroll up a little bit and you can see some of the other stuff that we've got going. So, we pretty much covered all the tiers and the artwork. So if you go to updates.
There's one thing we didn't cover, and I need to push this because I need it in my life. If this campaign gets to what was it, Don? 50,000?
I know.
We get the whoopee cushion.
I know. That's like I would love to see it.
I need a cesspool whoopee cushion in my life, folks.
I know.
Listen, go back this. just so I can get a whoopee cushion.
We need a lot more.
I know I can go buy, a standard Walmart brand whoopee cushion for like $3, but that's not the point. I need the cesspool one. If you care about me tormenting my coworkers with something very juvenile and ridiculous from 1997, go back this campaign.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Ayrton.
Thank you.
I'm right there with you. If there was any perk that I would love to make as a cool item for this campaign, it would be that. But I have a feeling because I'm at less than 2,000 and I'm in my first week that you're probably going to have to settle with buying a whoopee cushion and then cutting out Cesspool's face from the comic book and putting it on it.
I mean that.
No. Well, here's what we'll do. If you back this book, and only if you back this book, we don't make $50,000. You can DM me and you send me a whoopee cushion, and you pay for return shipping. I will print Cesspool on it for you.
Really? Can you print on latex?
Listen, I'm channeling my inner Abraham Lincoln and MLK to give this speech to get this whoopee cushion. That's how much I cherish juvenile humor.
Right. We'll get you a Cesspool whoopee cushion, Ayrton. Don't worry, buddy.
All right.
Now I know what to get you for Christmas next year.
We'll make it so.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I need to send those cigars to you still.
Yeah, and I need to send your glasses too. I've been lazy as shit. They're sitting in a box on the end of my kitchen table. It's in an Amazon box.
Yeah, your cigars are sitting in my humidor underneath my tablet at the moment.
All right. I mean, as long as we're on the same page, we understand one another.
Are these like
neither one of us is asked because we're both like, we haven't sent ours yet. So
it's like your belated Christmas gifts to each other that you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do, Don.
Okay.
Well, it's hard to do shipping in the midst of Christmas, and besides, it would be late anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you found the image I was kind of telling you about. This is in the works with Delphin and Michael Gracia, and this is my take on what if, instead of the Watcher, we have the Poacher, and
that's right.
He's Elmer Fudd, and he talks like with a wisp, and he's basically trying to narrate the story. What if Stan we and
we quiet,
yeah,
wanting wabbit.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because we put the X-Men, like what if they worked for Disney? What if Archie Comics got a hold of them? And so instead of like Juggernaut, we have the Juggerhead Knot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know I'm younger than who should understand this style of humor, but this makes me think of like the Abbott and Costello like meets the Mummy or meets the Wolfman or something like that. That's what this style of writing that you do always reminds me of every single time.
I'll have
just
to
like
with this. Are they pretty funny?
Just like take a ridiculous concept and put it with somebody else's IP and see what happens.
Right,
Mhm.
right, man.
Right.
I think you'll approve, Ayrton. It's your cup of tea. It's all.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'm. It's right up our alley. It's that same ridiculousness that we get that kind of joy out of. You had a joke going on that every time you tuned into our show, we were talking about kickers.
Kickers Inc.
Yep. Yeah. Ayrton didn't believe that those books could be as bad as they were.
Oh, they were bad.
Yeah.
The Star was it the Star Comics line that Shooter did? That was
No, it was the New Earth line.
I'm sorry, you're right. Star Comics.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Star Comics. The Kid imprint that they did,
Yeah.
like with Heathcliff and some other guys, and then was it
Did they have Bobby's World in there too?
I don't think that was a Star comic.
No, there was a Bobby's World comic though. I
Wasn't
remember
it the new? Is that what he called the new universe? Is that what Shooter?
Yeah,
called
it was the new universe, and time was supposed to pass in real time, but that lasted like 3 issues. And there were not supposed to be any like intergalactic forces at play, but that was immediately
there
like
were.
shit canned from issue 1.
New universe, man. I don't. All those titles, I think you guys should review.
We did. We reviewed
did.
number 1 of all of them.
And if you guys want to hear me actually yell and get mad about something, go check out that episode.
Okay,
Because they were so bad.
you'll have to
He
remind.
hated me for that.
I remember Starbrand, right? That was one of them. Starbrand was one.
Starbrand, yeah, that was one of the ones we didn't review because it was decent.
Okay.
I hate you so much.
Tell me some of the other because I know I carried these in my store and they didn't sell very good. I just
No,
remember.
they didn't
Imagine
sell
my
well
shock.
at all.
But Kickers Inc. and what else was there that was bad?
Justice.
Justice, right? The white-haired guy.
Yeah.
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 White,
That eagle dude. The
that evil.
I don't even remember the name of the book. It was so bad.
Was he like
It
a
was like
Hawkman
Captain
type?
Planet meets ayahuasca, basically.
Oh, that sounds.
It was
bad.
Mark Hazard, Night Mask,
Oh,
Kickers
Mark-
Inc.,
That's right.
Spitfire and the Troubleshooters,
Oh,
DP7,
these hurt.
the
These,
Psy-Force, and Justice.
Psy-Force. That's what it was.
oh man, yeah.
Like I
don't
said,
think
Captain Planet meets ayahuasca.
I never read a full issue of any of this.
Good.
Lime's dad
The
says
Pit wasn't New Universe, Lime's dad, but the Pit was terrible.
the Pit by Image. I thought
Yeah, the Pit. No.
that was
No.
Dale Keown artwork, man. The
I
Pit,
love the Pit.
The Pit was awesome as far as the artwork went, but if you read the story, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
okay.
just the Hulk, but not as good.
right. That's true. It was lacking in a story, but the artwork was pretty
'Cause
awesome.
you gotta remember, it was right beside Spawn when McFarlane was having all those guest writers come on.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah, no, the New Universe had a Pit, but it wasn't the Pit from
Oh.
Image.
It was just called Pit.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't even want to.
yeah, no, it's all bad. It's all bad for you.
All right. Yeah.
We
Jim
reviewed some weird comment. We reviewed Skate Man on this channel, Dad.
Skate Man. Doesn't he say here? I formed a union, my foot in your face. Is that what he says on the cover?
I think so.
Something like that.
That was awesome, man.
It's judged like the worst comic ever. Like,
See, I liked it more than the New Universe, though. I would rather read every single issue of Skate Man than read a single issue of the New Universe.
I agree. At least Skate Man had Neil Adams art. So
Exactly.
and can you imagine what the world would be like if Marvel had gone through with their original plan into stopping everything line wide and introducing the New Universe as their only titles? Can you imagine what a disaster that would have been?
Hold on, I'm gonna call Courtney Love real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh man, you guys are fun. I miss. No, seriously. I mean, I enjoy going on these chats with other people, but I already have a rapport with you guys, and it's like I have to learn all these guys that I don't know, and I kind of try to do research before I go on their shows, and they're all really talented people, but speaking with them, I'm not used to them. It's just like trying to meet somebody for the first time, but I know what to expect from you. I wasn't sure if I needed to put a language disclaimer on my
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. It's he just sent me a DM talking about the John Byrne and Mark Gruenwald, The Pit, which was a new universe. It was supposed to be one of those things to help tie it together.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. In the chat, we've got Kelly Sue DeConnick. Oh, no. Kelly Sue DeChronic. Excuse me. Question for Don. Any plans to make new books with parodies of other characters like Boneyard Shift, Cypher Frog, Chin Crackers, Lost Souls?
Oh man, I might have to hire her. She actually backed our campaign. Thank you, Kelly Sue. And
Kelly Sue DeChronic, not to be confused with Kelly Sue DeConnick.
I kind of thought a CG, a Comicsgate only spoof book might be something to do. I haven't really thought of the concepts, but those are good inspiration.
Hit me in the DMs. I can give you a rundown of some of the lore and whatnot of what's happened in Comicsgate and who the big guys were in the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Well, I know Boneyard Shift. She's alluding to Graveyard Shift, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I've befriended Mark Polton pretty well in the last few months.
Right. Cypher Frog or Cyber Toad.
Jawbreakers, right? Jawbreakers.
Right. Chin Crackers, Jawbreakers.
I like Chin Crackers. That's definitely my favorite one out of all of them.
Right. And I mean, obviously you have to write Chin Crackers as you're the John Chin.
Right. Right. I have to get a little do a little research on these characters. I have Graveyard Shift. He actually sent me like the first graphic novel collection with a U.S. Assassin, which I backed.
Nice.
And so I've got Graveyard Shift to read. Everybody says, "Oh, it's like what if the Universal Monsters, became the X-Men?" Is that basically what Graveyard Shift is, kind of in a nutshell? Would you say?
That would be more of an Ayrton question than me.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way of looking at it. I would like.
Is this a Graveyard Shift Malin?
Yeah, John Malin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, Rob Willis, who's doing our variant, he is. I think he's working on Graveyard Shift 3.
Right.
I would like to see you do a parody of Trump's Space Force, but with Biden using the Biden Thoughts Twitter channel. I don't know if you follow that one.
No, I haven't.
Biden Thoughts is a great follow on Twitter and Instagram.
If it's still around, RIP all my fallen Twitter brothers.
Well, he's at least still on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter.
Okay.
But that would be entertaining.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Yeah,
right.
because there's a lot you could do. I mean, there's a lot of oh man, there's plenty to parody about Cyber Frog.
The case of the littlest umbrella, the case of the broken umbrella.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The picnic, the case of the picnic umbrella.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do there, Don.
Okay, well, we'll see. We have the X-Farce campaign to fulfill, and then after that, it's Beard Zerker with me and Bill Mouse. So,
right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we'll see. I want to just kind of take my time and focus. It's a lot of work just to do one book a year.
Which that's actually a perfect segue. It's almost like you're a natural at doing the streaming stuff, Don. So for the X-Farce book fulfillment schedule, like what's that looking like? It sounds like, just from talking to you here and behind the scenes and stuff, for the most part you're pretty much like, as soon as it's done you're ready to ship, except for like maybe like the lunch boxes you have to get printed and stuff.
Right. It's
but as far as like the actual like book bit, like it seems like you're pretty much ready to fulfill almost immediately.
This story that you look
coloring doesn't take time at all, Ayrton.
On the screen, that's a page story, and then Thad still has to do his story, and then the guys that are doing the House of X, Powers of X,
I forgot about that one.
The Mighty Mascots guy have 5 pages. If you scroll down a little bit more, Church, and put an update page, update number 3, because I show a page from, keep going. Update 3. There you go, right there. That's some of the line art from the House of X, Powers of X story, and we just got that like last week. So they're a little behind on their story, but I think it'll be done hopefully in January. So I think most of the book will be done art-wise this month, and then the initial campaign, we still have another couple, like 3+ weeks to go. And
you've got the ability to extend it, like the campaign, before you even go in demand for 60 full days.
That'll probably
you've already completed you've already completed your funding. You're at 100%. You're at what, a little over $1,700?
Yeah, which
like 103%, something like that.
This is it's more like our gift to Comicsdom, just to kind of to say we're back, and this isn't to make a huge profit, but it would be nice to break even. 1,700 isn't breaking even. It's more everybody said,
"Oh no,
set your goal really low, because that way when you're on Indiegogo, it'll look like you've far exceeded what you needed." I think if I could hit 10,000, that would be more like a realistic kind of more of a break even, and have a little bit left over for ourselves. But
I've heard that a lot, and I don't really like that advice. Like, I would much rather see a failed campaign relaunched from ground zero with more notoriety, more familiarity with the campaign circuit, and getting it out there to more people, and reaching that $10,000 goal, as opposed to seeing a $17,000 goal with a $10,000 price point that has, and I'm not judging you on this. I'm just saying that I've heard a lot of people out there say that they've been told, well, set your goal lower, because it helps with the algorithm, it helps with making you look better. But in the grand scheme of things, does it really help you look better in the long run if you set it for $2,000 and you can't fulfill? Or if you set it for 10 and you just make 11 and you do fulfill, right? Like, what looks better in the grand scheme of things, ladies and gentlemen?
I think on Beard Zerker, it's going to be different.
And that's just me. I'm not experienced in this. I've never made a comic book on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. I'm not, judging whoever gives this advice, but to me, it doesn't seem like the best advice to give, especially to first-time creators. Like,
yeah, this is.
I would much rather see Don putting money in his pocket than setting a $1,700 goal and then having to come out of pocket to fulfill his obligation to the people that back this project.
Thank you, Church.
Yes,
that's good advice. And like I said, this is all trial and error. Our first time, and a lot of
right.
Said, our first time that we did this, we only made like 3,000, and from there you learn, and I've learned a lot. I mean, I feel a lot more comfortable moving forward on the next campaign. And my wife is very cool about it. She says, I don't expect you to, knock a home run out of the park your first time. This is like, it's a whole new frontier than when we were publishing in the 90s and we had distribution. You're having to learn how to market yourself and, go directly to the fans versus going to the comic book stores.
Right.
I need $0.
Now that's an interesting question that I wanted to bring up. What is that difference like, since you have that more personal experience going through like distributors and having to sell to like retail stores versus having to market your product and who you are like as a person, know, because that's really what the independence comic thing is about. You're more marketing yourself than the comic. At least that's how it comes across.
What is that like?
Yeah, like what's kind of the difference between doing the two of those? Like that transition, is it difficult? Like, how do you feel about it?
Oh, that's a really good question, Aaron, because I felt like this campaign is like taking a lot more physically and emotionally out of me than anything that I can remember. and I've been working on it for like almost, the better part of almost, a year, just getting it from last year to where we are now. And I think part of it is because I bit off this multiple creator project that has like 13 different people in it. So in that respect, even though we had a lot of the artwork done, I'm still having to work with colorists. And then on the 3 or 4 remaining stories that make up the new material, these are all guys that are working on projects. And so I'm kind of having to juggle multiple people and deadlines, which when I work with Bill, like on Beard Zerker, it's a lot more easier to just work between he and I and maybe another person. So I think in that respect, an anthology that has almost 50 pages, it's a big juggling act versus just doing like a 24 or 32 page book with an artist that's just me and him.
Yeah.
So
you have a lot of email chains, is what you're telling me.
Right. And then I'm working with guys that I haven't really worked with before, like Rob. I reached out to him because I saw him do this awesome Black Flag variant for Dan Fraga, and I said, "Who is this guy?" He's like Stephen Platt and Dale Keown from the '90s, resurrected again. And so I direct messaged Rob on Twitter, and that was like in the summer. He says, "Yeah, I'm about 3 months booked out, but if you want to give me a deposit, I'll put you in my, on my list. So when I get done with Graveyard Shift and Shinobi Sasquatch, you'll be like the first guy that I can do a commission for." And so he's behind. I mean, he's behind on those books. And so it kind of creates this bottleneck, because I thought, maybe we could.
Let's not talk too much about that, because I back Shinobi Sasquatch.
Okay. So
no, but I don't hold any ill will towards Rob. I know shit happens, and for a lot of these guys, it's a first time thing. A lot like it's easy to get in your feelings when it comes to your money, right?
Right.
Like when you put money towards a lot of these projects, it's easy to get in your feelings because you put your money in it, and these things aren't. It's not Amazon Prime. Like, we've gotten used to Amazon Prime.
Exactly.
But there was a time and place where you would give your money.
You two bourgeoisies.
Well, here's the thing. You get you get in the fact that you're used to a situation where, okay, I can order something today and it's here in 2 days or a day or, tonight if I want it. And then you go back in time and you're like, okay, well, you used to have to give the man at the store a deposit on an item that you would order that would show up in 2 weeks. And if somebody bought it before you were able to get to the store, you'd have to wait another 2 weeks to get your shit.
We're spoiled. You're right. We're in a culture where we get everything now, and I think, Ayrton, to go back to your question, when I was publishing in the 90s, when we had a distributor, it was a lot easier for us to do multiple books a month. And Dillard's in the crowd. He knows that you have to go out and make your presence known. So if you're a shy person, I think it'd be very hard to kind of make it in this crowdfunding thing. It's almost like you have to be a celebrity of sorts to kind of get a following and then earn their trust. And I kind of like it, but there's sometimes when, I roll out of bed and I think, oh man, should I do a stream? I haven't combed my hair.
You just need a big hat and some sunglasses.
There you go.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Well, I have to look at the level on my bottle of whiskey before I decide if I'm going to go on the air or not. I'm like, do I have enough booze to get through these 2 hours? I mean, what am I doing with my life?
Oh man. So as a
He about a fifth at least to deal with Ayrton by himself.
I'd say the 90s kind of had that was nice in that the only time you had to meet the fans is if you went to a con, and now the con's in your house because you just turn on the camera and everybody's there and you can all hang out now. But it's
and you send links to people.
Right. My throat, I'm seriously, from just launching this campaign, I've been on sometimes 2 or 3 streams in a row, and my voice is shot.
Yeah.
It takes its toll on you, especially when you're.
Oh no, I heard
I remember
a couple of weeks ago. I think I did including yours, Don. I think I did 6 or 7 streams in a day and a half.
Oh, you're talking about the stream crawl where I was in a blizzard.
Yes, and by the end,
I was at my in-laws and there was a blizzard done, and I had planned to do a stream crawl for 7-8 hours.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening? Wait a minute.
What the hell is this? Everywhere I go, Don Chin.
Me and Dillard are like Siamese twins.
Wait a minute.
The 2 most beautiful men in comics.
I gotta show everybody up. Hold on a second.
There you go.
All right, there it is. There it is.
You and that damn beret.
We got. I'm gonna mail you a top hat, Don Chin. We're gonna outclass this bastard.
Yeah, every time I put on this beret, I just hear in my head the opening theme song to the Game of Thrones. I feel epic.
That's fair. But so yeah, Don, you sent me that link, and I was like, okay, I'll go on, I'll do that one, and then the next day I get another link for Anthony from Dark Gift Comics for his open mic night on Mondays. I was like, man, should I do it? I was like, okay, I'll go on, I'll play a couple songs. I did that. The next couple days after that, yeah, I hear you. My voice, I was like, I can't talk for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
You gotta drink hot water with a little bit of honey. Put a scarf around your neck.
Not just whiskey.
You closed out the buckler, right, Dillard?
I did close out the buckler. However, it's still in demand, so you still have a chance to get it.
Uh-oh.
Cheap
You can
bastard.
still buy it? Hey, what do you don't know? I could have bought it in anonymity.
That's true. You could have been my biggest benefactor. I don't know.
I might have been. I don't use my Church of Failure handle to buy things anymore. I don't like that break in between the fourth and third wall.
Oh, I don't. This conversation's got out of my depth. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh no, I don't like the separation between my online persona and my real life name being broken.
The separation of church and state, as it were.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes, it's against the Constitution for me to break character.
So if I go in and look right now, I wouldn't be able to tell if you backed X-Farce.
Correct.
Well, he wasn't at least the second backer.
Ayrton was
Yeah.
a second backer.
I'm in top 5 though. 2 of the top 5 backers are Church and Ayrton.
Well, see, here's the thing. I gotta make a confession here. I overspent when it came to super chats closing out my book because I'm trying to get it everywhere and anywhere. Because I had budgeted $100 to spend on super chats, and I ended up spending.
And then you started drinking moon.
103.
Yeah, I ended up spending about $130 in super chats, and that, you know what, it really it turned me off of my game. I was like, damn, I'm making a mistake because I didn't want to pull like a. You remember Acridius? Dude spent like $7,000 in super chats trying to get his book out there. But like I was like, but you know what? So I went and I backed X-Farce, but I could only back. I didn't back the book. I just made a donation to the campaign, a small donation, because I can't realistically afford to back anything right now. Not until the next paycheck comes in.
Hey,
you dirty speck.
You made a no. He made a bigger donation than either one of us did because he just threw money at it expecting to get nothing.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Like, we both backed expecting to get something at the end of this. Dillard's like, I'm not getting shit, but here's some money.
I like X-Farce. It looks fun. You know, I'm not gonna get it, but I can't afford it. But
that's okay.
I like for those things to exist.
I backed it just because
you can look on our channel, Dillard. You can look on our channel and get a taste test of what X-Farce is going to bring you without color. Because we've talked about it
it's
with the
white
man himself.
only.
Dylan's been in. He's kind of seen what we're about, but maybe me and John will like swap copies of our books.
There you go.
That would probably be easier than paying each other.
Don't tell the business.
I don't know, dude. I think I'm gonna order like one, maybe two extra Buckler books because these things are gonna be expensive.
They're
like, how much are you gonna over-order?
In hundreds.
Yeah, like, how much are you gonna order? Like, over-order. I'm like, I'm not trying to over-order. I guess if like
he's gonna over-order like 7.
He's gonna over-order -3.
And 5 of those are gonna be toward damages.
I'm gonna have to replace like probably 20 or 30 books for smoke damage.
I mean, to be fair to Dillard, egg delivery doesn't pay that well.
It really doesn't. Like, if I was making like 6 figures, maybe something. But...
I think you're on your way. He's paying his dues. He's just like me.
He's out here making babies. That's what Dillard's doing.
I know. I'm like negatively impacting my bank account. I don't know what I'm doing.
This man's like, I'm going to get into indie comics. What a great time to have a child. John's out here like, my kids are raised. It's just me and my wife now. I'm gonna get back into comics because they don't pay shit. Dillard's like, I got a baby. Let me get into comics.
Well, I didn't like quit my job or anything, but
that's
nobody in comics ever should.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't quit my job for YouTube either. Because PewDiePie makes $1 million doesn't mean I'm gonna
make millions. Me and Don, we're gonna make millions.
Hey, I have
a dynamic duo.
I have a PewDiePie.
Remember who put you on?
I went on a drawing show with Mike Miller last 2 weeks ago.
Oh, drawn and quartered?
Yeah, I went on drawn and quartered, and I'm not a cartoonist, by trade, but I try. And so about a half hour before the show goes on, he'll let you know what the topic is. So you don't have like a head start to know what you're going to draw. He'll just basically say on social media, here's the topic, and meet us at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So you got like 6 or 7 artists drawing like for an hour and a half, and whoever has the best piece is voted on by the watching crowd. Mm-hmm. So he says, yeah, we're going to do a stream and we're going to draw PewDiePie. And I went, who's PewDiePie? I didn't know who he was. And I asked my grandkids, I texted them, I said, you know who PewDiePie is? And they said, oh, come on, Gramps, like I had no clue. So I go online and I'm telling my wife, I've been on Drawn and Quartered like the last
10 million subscribers, nobody important.
I've been nice.
Don,
Like,
you're my favorite person on the internet.
so I go on the show and I watch this video on YouTube that says like PewDiePie like in 7 minutes explained. So I just watch this video and I see, oh, he's the Swedish guy. He's pretty good looking. He does these game videos. So I go, okay, I think I know who he is. So I go on the stream and everybody else is like, you know, you got like Elliot Fernandez and Siege and all these really good artists besides Mike Miller. And
you drew a stick figure, didn't you?
I'm just a writer, and the very first time I went on the show was like a month ago, and I just sat in on the show, and they voted me first place, even though I didn't do it. And that made Mike Miller really mad because he did a really good thing. So, anyways, I thought, you know, I'm not going to let myself, you know, they were being really nice, but I'm gonna like go out of my comfort zone and go on this show and actually try to draw. So the first time it was like Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars, and I did okay.
Yeah.
I did okay. And then the next one was Nightmare Before Christmas, the Tim Burton one. You know, I'm coming in like dead last in voting on these shows.
Right.
The PewDiePie one is the one I don't have any idea who the character is. And so I'm sitting there drawing, and everybody else has the downward camera so you can see what they're drawing. But I don't have a second camera. I'm just sitting here sketching.
holding it up to your computer every few seconds.
So at the end of the show, this is what I came up with: it's Pewdie Popeye.
Oh, I love it.
And I got.
Can you make a comic out of that?
I gotta
make a tier. Sell that. You sell that for $150. Ayrton will buy it.
I might.
So
anyway, we'll buy it and frame it for $150, Don, right now.
That's my drawn and quartered story.
So this is what you got to do for drawn and quartered. Because I've never actually lost on drawn and quartered.
Really, John? Really?
That's because he's never gone on.
He's the best fucking artist in Comicsgate right now.
No, I've been on there about 6 times because
really?
I do the fan edition,
I'm
and
not
if you win the fan edition,
hold on, John.
Yeah.
Let me blow you for a second.
All right.
My man, John Dillard is the best artist in Comicsgate right now, like hands down.
It's true. Yeah. No, but what happened was they had this thing, right? Drawn and quartered, and what we decided to do as smaller guys, right? We had no platform or anything. What I decided to do was start sending super chats over to the Drawn and Quartered Pro Edition, and it wasn't called the Pro Edition before; it was just called Drawn and Quartered. But we had the fan edition, so I started sending them super chats saying, "Yeah, you guys are cowards. You're not going to have any of these small guys on because you guys are scared that we're going to come in and."
That's why you can't afford to buy any extra books for your campaign, Dillard, because you were sending super chats to other.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, okay, so you guys are terrified to have a smaller creator on because it'll blast your ego, right? Oh, yeah. And at that time,
well, it happened with doodle bags.
right. So what happened was like Malin was there, and he was like, well, you know, he was back when he was part of it, and he was like, well, you know, I'll get on there, you know, if you think you're that tough, you know, come on and see if you got with the pros. And so I went on there, and it was me and Mike and Malin and Kanan White and everybody, and I just started lambasting them, the pros, right, just talking all kinds of shit. And I was like, yeah, if you vote for, and they were like, oh, look at how good Kanan White stuff is. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if you want to vote for diversity, vote Kanan White, you know? And I just giving everybody the business, and I ended up winning like first place. And I just go on there every time and just talk shit. And every time I get voted first.
You got him shook. You're wearing Ricks, you got him shook.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I was like, why are you voting for these guys? Comicsgate is a consumer movement. I'm a small guy. I'm a consumer. I'm an indie guy. You got to vote for me. What are you voting for these pros for? They hate your guts.
Well, yeah, but
The
I mean, your
consumer
artwork speaks
who has
for
never
itself,
backed
man.
anything.
Like all that, you know, all that shit talk, it's backed up 100%.
Oh, I've backed some stuff, but you know,
I'm talking about
friends.
Your shit talk is backed up. Your shit talk is backed up with your talent, like 100%.
So,
The Buckler is one of the best drawn books in Comicsgate, hands down.
It is.
So real quick, in getting to closing, because we have 20 minutes left, and this show tends
We
to
do.
get off the rails.
Yeah, you guys
pretty
talk a lot
easily.
about stuff other than X-Farce. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, you know,
We
'cause
talk
that's
mostly
what
about
happens.
Don Chen. Like that's what we do.
Don't
we
critique our
we
show,
love
Dillard.
Don.
How dare you?
If you would have watched the beginning of the show, you would have understood. We went through our history and how Don Chen came to be a part of
Yeah,
Comicsgate, thanks
that's
to us.
That's right.
This is true.
You're welcome.
So Don,
Yeah.
you know, in our last little minutes here, because we don't want to hold you up. What's kind of your last push? What's your big like sales pitch to like really draw people into this book? Besides that it's hilarious.
I'd just say
Yeah, let's open the floor up to Don here. I'll go back to the main page of the campaign here.
if we all survive 2020 and we need help in 2021 already, as we can all probably feel, laughter is the best medicine. And so we just thought, Mad Magazine has closed up shop. No one's really doing parodies anymore. And this is just, our motto at Parody Press is, making the world laugh again. And that's what we're about. We just want to spread humor and give people a place to escape. I wrote a little update today that said, you remember Saturday morning cartoons? X-Farce is like a Saturday morning cartoon that you can take with you and laugh and have a good time. So that's what we're about with this book, is just giving people a break. And, most people know who the X-Men are. And if you read any of the X-Men from the 60s all the way up to 2020, you can appreciate this book, because it's just it's a fun 48-page ride with no ads. And that's pretty much
no ads. That's the biggest point right
Yeah,
there. Let me just tell you, folks.
I've had some thoughts on this, but I do have a couple of questions for Don before we get off the air, because in a true interview fashion, we gotta ask the tough questions. Right.
I am wearing pants.
You've gotten up a couple of times and proved that, or I'd make you.
Oh, okay.
The correct answer is boxer briefs. That's the both.
No, the real tough question is Don Chen. In current society, if you could parody any comic book in the world, what would you parody?
Oh boy. Any comic book in the world. Well, I mean, the one that we're doing next is the one that comes to mind, and that's Beard Zerker, the Keanu Reeves Kickstarter campaign. Let me before we go, I'll share with you. Let's see if I can. Oh, I have to. Let me find it on my computer.
Yeah, well, you find that. What I want to know is like, I want a book that has like a couple of little short stories, all parodies. I want to see a parody of Squirrel Girl. I want to see a parody of America Chavez.
That's right. SJW parodies. SJ parodies.
So a parody of Squirrel Girl would be Chipmunk Tranny.
There you go.
Calm down with the T word, Ayrton.
Sorry. Chipmunk Z. My bad.
All right.
Yeah.
I found it here. Yeah, the next book that we're doing is the book that I think in this day and age is what I would want to spoof. So, can you see that?
Okay. I can. What have we got here?
So that's Kanan's cover for Beard Zerker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is it the parody of?
Well, it's kind of a parody / homage to Bill and Ted. And he's like a rock and roll Rip Van Winkle. So he's basically been in a coma for like the last 30 years. And the government says, we need you to solve the world problems in 2020. So even though these bees that he's fighting, they look like the ones from Cyberfrog. They're actually not Cyberfrog size. They're actually small, like murder hornets. it's
small.
Murder
Like the
hornets are
that
small.
3/7
Yeah.
times of the
They're just-
hornets that are normally here in the United States.
Yeah, they're just perspective wise, they look like they're like 4 feet, big and stuff. But that's going to be a fun book, I think.
And this is off of the Berserker Keanu Reeves book, right?
Right. It's
The
like
crowdfunding book.
yeah, it's kind of what I imagined Berserker's going to be, even though Keanu.
Does his beard, is it sentient?
It actually grows.
Like, can he go, he's like, and then the beard grows longer?
It grows naturally, but it grows at an exponential rate. So by the end of the book, it is a weapon to be contended with.
I seen a cartoon where this guy was lifting weights with his beard. It was pretty great.
Was that
You
Bluto?
need to-
That was just
you
my
need to sue
biography,
for-
Dillard.
Yeah, you need to sue for life rights, Church.
And I think that was the fabulous misadventures of Flapjack.
I was gonna say, like, that's just an infringement on my life story, Dillard. Calm down.
Well, you gotta get in that litigation, dude.
I shaved 12 months ago, and I have like 14 inches of beard to show for it.
Oh man! So, was there another question, Church, or was that it?
That was the hard question. But you didn't actually like answer the question. You didn't tell me a comic that you would parody. You said what you would do, and that was a self promo for. But I'm talking about a comic book here. I'm talking about something that's actually in production, like a Spider-Man, a Green Lantern, a Cyber Frog.
Oh gosh! Sorry, I'm just drawing.
A Captain Marvel.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't even read. I'm so turned off by the way Marvel and DC have just gone lefty. I don't even read their stuff.
I mean, I've got to tell you, you got to read it to know what you can make fun of, because sometimes you don't actually have to do any work at all. You just have to change. You just have to change the way the punctuation is laid out. Like,
that's true. What would you like to see me spoof, Church? And I'll take a look at it.
I'm telling you, I really want to see a parody of just like an anthology parody of Marvel and DC as a whole, like
Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales,
right, Spider-Ghost,
Lady Thor,
yep,
Amadeus Cho Hulk.
It seems like they're parodying themselves.
Exactly. That's the thing. You can use the book. You can pull a commie mark. You can use the book as it stands. Just rework.
Well, you can do a parody of Amadeus Cho Hulk, but he's like he's an Asian man like yourself, but he's terrible at math. He's not all about the science.
he's a letter Asian, not a math Asian.
I'm actually not good at math, so I
he's at the liquor store counting his change and getting ripped off,
Oh man, this is
really?
a good.
You're not good at math, Don?
I am horrible at math, man. Oh. I'm a writer.
I feel for your real estate company.
I'm a writer.
His mom can be an actual tiger mom. She's an actual tiger.
Well, look, I put my campaign at $1,700, so I'm not very good.
Yeah, Don's sitting out here like his mom never told him you have 3 options: doctor, lawyer, or engineer.
Oh man,
his mom actually loved him.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, you guys have been great, and Dillard, it's good to see you pop on, my friend.
Yeah, he does.
It's great to see you, Don.
And like the Chicano he is.
The show, but he gets in here somehow. Almost like he hops over the wall or something.
Yeah, he picked the lock.
Oh gosh,
got a set of lock picks in the beret.
I'm gonna bebop out of here. My wife is needing some assistance, but you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. And check out X-Farce.
Good luck on X-Farce.
Thanks, guys.
Check out X-Farce Reloaded on Indiegogo. Don Chin, the one, the only. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Thank you, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.
Always.
Keep the faith.
Now,
did he look at me and say, "Keep fit"?
Folks, Keep
That's
faith.
right. That's right. He told you to get on the treadmill, Dillard. You're looking a little chubby.
Son of a bitch.
So listen, folks. Anybody in the chat right now, if you only have certain amount of funds because the government fucked you over on the goddamn stimulus check, I'm getting all my swearing out now that Don is gone.
That's right.
Go back X-Farce instead of the buckler.
You see that? That's called
That was the
comedic
best
timing.
look I've ever seen.
Come on, you didn't do a
Refund the
spit
buckler
take,
to back
Dillard?
X-Force.
I tried to time that perfect so you would do a spit take. You let me down.
I saw what you were doing, and I bit the soap, make you look like an asshole.
You fucker.
I'm good at what I do. Thank you.
Are you? Yeah, you are. Fuck it. I can't even make a joke about you not being good at what you do. No, you really are one of the best
I mean,
artists.
I stand by what I
Comicsgate.
said. You're the best. You're the best artist in Comicsgate as it stands, because you not only draw well, but you put your book out on time.
Oh, you don't know that yet. You have absolutely no clue about that yet.
True. We don't know that yet.
I mean, you've proven that you have the entire book drawn up by your deadline.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I got past the 10K mark, so now I got to do a 28-page one-shot to go along with it. And, well, to be honest, I already have 7 pages, and I've knocked out 7 pages in the last 3 days for that. So that should be okay.
Oh,
Time.
if you
Oh,
stop,
so you're at better than 2 pages a day.
Yeah.
well, if you
Well,
stop
I'm doing it in
if you stop
the Bruce
masturbating
Timm
to midget
style.
tranny porn, you'll be good. You'll be able to finish it by the end of this week.
Yeah, I'm doing it. You know, I'll show you right now. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
There you go. Do that.
Sorry,
Pull
I
that
said
up.
I said the T word again, Church.
Okay.
Oh no, Don's not here anymore. You can say whatever you want.
So this is the style I'm doing it in right here. So it's pretty easy to get more than a page done a day. Because I'm doing this like
Did your newborn draw that?
No, I drew this.
Oh.
But I'm doing it in like the adventure style, the Batman Adventures, that kind of thing.
Right.
Oh,
this
okay.
is this is the Batman the Animated Series style.
Yes. Because I want it to be a quick and dirty. This is more focused on story and not so much the visuals. So there's only going to be a few panels in here that are going to be really crazy. And another thing is, I don't really like crazy panels. Like, if you ever look at like one of the 90s Liefeld or McFarlane panel, the way they do their layouts and stuff, it's like I'm looking at a manga. You know what I mean? There's so many crazy lines and angles, and it confuses
You're like
me.
the only American that doesn't like manga. Dylan.
Yeah, it confuses me.
Mexican.
Yeah, I'm Mexican American. You know what you're talking about.
But you're an American, goddammit. That's what comes first.
I was an American before America was America.
No, you weren't.
I'm a native Californian, and then all of a sudden we instead of being Mexico,
you're definitely
we
not
were
an American before American was American.
Yeah, absolutely, I was.
Yeah, and then you got fucked by the Texans.
Yeah,
I
we're
know,
just
goddamn
gonna
Texas.
put a wall. We're gonna put a wall all around California by the time Trump comes back in the office in 2024.
Trump's not going back in. What are you talking about?
I know he's not going back in the office.
Are
That's
we
the
gonna
saddest
do that?
thing I've ever
Larry's
saw in
not-
my life.
Larry's not here.
We got
can't do
8
this
minutes
right
left. I can send Larry a link. I'm gonna send Larry a link right now.
now. I don't have time for this. I have to be up super early tomorrow.
I don't give a
Bye,
shit
Ayrton.
what you have time for.
I don't trust you.
It's
and Dillard by
the
yourselves,
most
though.
absolute
I feel like a
abysmal
goddamn
state
babysitter
of the
when you two
country
are
I've ever
streaming.
seen in my life. People are
Right?
out of their mind. There's absolutely no reason why any of this stuff should be going on, but
Yeah,
people
but
are
it's
so
really-
scared and pathetic to do anything about it. They don't care.
But it's
Nobody
really
cares.
fucking funny.
There's no fire in anybody's bellies anymore.
I don't care, but it's hilarious.
It's not. It's sad. It's depressing to look at.
No, it's
It is
funny.
terrible.
No, it's so funny. I was laughing my
It's
ass
not.
off.
It's not funny. It's not funny at all.
This is why his jokes don't land. He doesn't know what funny is.
He doesn't. He's been watching YouTube too long. He thinks that what people laugh at on YouTube is funny.
I don't like him putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frog.
Turn the freaking frogs gay.
Ayrton like hangs out with his like baby niece, and because like he makes faces at her and she laughs and claps, like he thinks he's funny.
Yeah. Is that not how this works?
No, but it's the saddest
and
thing
for
I
your
ever saw. And people have so much pride in this country, and it's just a sad state of affairs. It's so sad to look at.
My niece is 3, so she's a toddler now, not a baby.
I'm sorry. I got actually live on it.
Or is she 4? She might be 4 now. I don't know. I drink a lot.
That's terrible. You shouldn't drink so much. You got to take care of yourself first.
Why?
Oh, so you can be around. What the fuck am I looking at?
Oh God! Turn your camera
Larry,
off. What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't even give me time to grab lotion. Just throw it right out there.
Booze to deal with that, Larry. Don't do that to me.
Don't worry, it's captured forever on the stream. Oh God!
He's gonna come back with like a Roman toga draped over his body, and a bowl of grapes on his chest.
I've only got 2 shots of liquor left. I don't know that I can deal with this. Larry, what are you doing?
Hey man, it's like fucking midnight where I'm at. What's up?
It's like midnight here too.
That doesn't mean what you did was appropriate.
Nothing good ever happens after 11 o'clock at night.
I'm glad we didn't bring. I'm glad I didn't send you a link once Don was here.
Well, you brought Larry in for a purpose. What is that purpose? He's very
I
inquisitive.
don't remember why I brought Larry in.
Because he asked if we wanted to nuke the channel a couple days ago.
He
Oh.
did. He did. And,
Oh, God,
and I
you-
said
you're wait-
something about
you're
I'd
waiting to
send
waiting to do
Larry
that
a
now?
link. No, we're not going to do that right now. But I threatened Dillard that I'd send Larry a link. So, or Ayrton. No, it was Ayrton I threatened. Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah,
we have 4
No, we're
minutes
only
till
on
the
the
end of
air for
show.
another 4 minutes. So,
Yeah, no, I was talking about doing a show about, the recent current events.
What's
We're
wrong with
only
talking
9
about
days
the
into
recent current events?
yeah, we're only 9 days into 2021, fellas. How's it feel so far?
Yeah.
I think I'm
Look,
going to
look.
become a prostitute at this point.
I'm just was writing a comic book script and I incorporated a character into it called the Buffalo Shaman.
Does he draw his power from the speaker's post?
No, that was a different guy.
different dude. Wrong dude.
No, but sometimes in comic mythology, you got to merge 2 characters together to get a complete story out of them.
Yeah, and I've written, so I'm working on a project with Matt from Kyrie, and I've already written 2 books in this series, and with the current events going on, I said I should write a 3rd one.
So, how many Twitter followers have you guys lost in the last 3 days?
I've gained
I don't
12.
check that shit.
You've gained 12?
Yep.
Yeah, let me check my my current Twitter following standings. I haven't
I've
actually
lost
lost
30.
I haven't lost any significant numbers.
I've
I'm
lost
still
30 people
around.
that Twitter considers Nazis.
Yeah, I'm still around 1,500 and some change.
Yeah, I was at like 900 and 905. I'm at 917 now.
I mean, I probably lost more people on Parlor.
I was at 1530, and I'm down below 1500 now. So,
Are you back to 1488 yet?
not quite, not
Okay.
quite. I don't think Twitter's going to let that happen.
Yeah, but I mean, we've all lost more people on Parlor.
Yeah, fuck Parlor. I never
I'm
joined.
not on Parlor.
Well, no. Did Parlor's officially been nuked by Amazon?
And
I heard about that.
they've been nuked by Amazon, Google, and Apple.
Well,
So
well,
tell
it's
me, Billy Ray, and you too, Bobby Joe,
Jim Bob.
Jim Bob.
Are-
What are you guys
Are you
gonna
having
do?
a stroke? Who the fuck are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, interchangeable white people. What exactly are you guys gonna do about it? And these guys
We're gonna
they're essentially
do what
took
we have
over.
to
They
to
essentially
adapt.
took over your country from you, and they're not going to give it back. And when you tried to take it back, they brought down the hammer of faith right on you, right on your
Well,
heads.
I mean,
We're gonna wait till the next time they elect a guy with a boot on his head as president. Like they
You're gonna. That's what I hear everywhere I go. I hear these guys saying that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait and see.
well, I mean,
what else can you fucking do?
I was going to wait to talk about that until the next show when we're going to go deep on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to reveal what we're going to do before the show because then
And we're not going to
everyone joins the
reveal
show.
what we plan on doing on YouTube. But
Look,
let's be honest.
look,
here.
Susan is part of the Illuminati of social media.
She's a beautiful woman.
She is.
She doesn't do anything wrong. Susan
She's
is
a woman?
our Lord and Savior. I'm Mark Safe for Passover on Twitter. If you haven't noticed,
you're either a little late or a little early for Passover, but depending.
No. Look at my
point of
Twitter
view.
avatar. You'll see what I'm talking
No,
about.
I've seen it.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about the social media purge Passover.
Oh, okay.
but yeah, we're going to go deep on the topic when I get on the show. We're going to do a complete discussion.
Goddamn right. Anyway, John Dillard, the Buckler, Indiegogo.com /something the Buckler.
The Buckler.
Go back it while it's in demand. Search Indiegogo for the Buckler. It'll probably be the second or third result.
Or fifth or
because
sixth.
racial discrimination.
Yeah.
They don't like me because I'm brown over there.
You're whiter than I am. Fuck you.
Wait, the Buckler, I'm not sure they know you're brown over there. That's probably the problem.
That's the problem. That Indiegogo is a bastion for the supreme assists is what I hear, and they don't like the Browns.
Actually, while I've got you guys here, who here has any actual knowledge about Sherlock Holmes literature?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I also do because you read a script I wrote.
Well, yeah,
related to
I know
that.
that. What about you, Ayrton? Do you know anything about Sherlock?
Yeah.
So I've been listening to the complete works by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I've also completed the casework of the Cthulhu Tales.
Nice.
And it's 3 titles that can conform Holmes with H.P. Lovecraft. So I can actually see where they came to the conclusion that some of Holmes' shit could have come from Cthulhu. Like, could have come from Lovecraft bullshit.
Well,
I don't know about
that Neil Gaiman wrote a couple of short stories based on that premise.
I would need links to these and to review them before I said that, but
It's called A Study in Emerald is one of them.
okay.
That's clever.
You can DM me on Discord, in the secret Discord where we docked everybody. But anyway.
So you brought up a topic you didn't want to talk about.
No, I want to read Neil Gaiman's shit.
No.
But what I want to know is
He's teasing for the next episode, Dillard. Come on. That's how we do
no.
this.
I
It's
want to know
cliffhanger.
with the Sherlock Holmes stuff. I didn't expect John to be a Sherlock Holmes guy. That's really what threw me for a loop here.
Why? Because he's not white?
No,
You're so racist.
because he's an
Gospel.
asshole and it doesn't seem like he reads. To be completely honest, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that goes books. Yeah, that's interesting.
Audible, motherfucker. I
Switch it up
got
like
I
He
got
just fucking John Cena'd me. I don't know how to deal with that.
we just need to end the show on that. Just
No,
you getting John
no,
Cena by
Not quite. We need to end the show on the fact that as I've been listening to the complete collection of Sherlock Holmes, did you guys think when you started listening to Sherlock Holmes that Moriarty might be more important than he actually was?
no.
No.
No. That's
He shows
literally
up for what?
everything.
Like 2.5 stories?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 stories. And the thing is, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like I completely 100% fell off after the Reichenbach Falls. Like I couldn't continue with the stories. It wasn't the same.
Well, I mean, that's literally the same thing like what happened with Dragon Ball Z after the Perfect Cell saga.
Yep.
Well, and even Doyle.
It's like watching a spin-off show. It's like it's just not the same. There's no point.
Well, even Doyle wanted to end his series at the Reichenbach Falls.
Yeah,
Like, he didn't
that
want
was
to
the point.
continue,
Yeah.
but he got enough money that he was like, okay, I'll make
Fine. I don't mind like scamming all of you people.
Yeah, basically. That was
Hey,
supposed to be the end of Holmes, and then
here's what here's what we'll do. We'll let's go ahead and solo layout John Dillard there. Give me another John Cena.